Hi everyone, how are you doing? You alright? So we're going to be doing player ratings. I don't know how Newcastle lost that game. More on that on the review, which is coming up after this video. But let's crack on with it. Let's begin with Martin Dubravka. You know, he'd done the simple, basic things correctly. Kicking was spot on. Collecting crosses was spot on. Couldn't do nothing about the goal. There's a couple of parried shots. So overall, done what you ask as a goalkeeper. 7. DeAndre Yedlin, much more improved the performance by him. I can't remember Son or Ali getting the better of him down that right flank. So I'm going to score DeAndre Yedlin quite high in this one. I thought this was much more improved. I'm going to score him an 8. Captain, Jamal Lascelles, again, done the basics correctly. I think because Newcastle defended deep, him and Lejeune didn't have massive amounts to do because there was a bit of a wall in front of him as well, and that's down to the protection of Diarmi as well. But Lascelles, maybe, I haven't seen a goal back, I haven't seen a goal massively back, but you give 1 yard free to Harry Kane and he'll punish you. But I'm not going to blame the goal on Jamal Lascelles. I thought he was solid. 7. Florian Lejeune alongside him, again, very similar to Lascelles. Solid again, 7, because the defence protected him very well. Newcastle defended in numbers when we didn't have the ball, and when we had the ball, we got forward really and attacked Tottenham. But we didn't hurt them, did we? Left back Paul Dummett. Obviously, he's been in struggling the last couple of games, but overall, I didn't think he did much wrong. To be fair, can't really blame him for the goal. Didn't get forward enough, but we know that's not Paul Dummett's game. But 7 for me. Moving across to Mo Diarmi, who is, I thought we had the better of Tottenham's centre midfield pair in the day. I know they've got Sissoko playing there in Wanyama, but I thought him and Shelvey, in particular Diarmi, protecting the defence much more better. Going to score Diarmi an 8. Alongside him, in my man of the match, is John Joe Shelvey. I'm going to score him a whopping 9 out of 10. I thought everything went through him. The long balls were playing on the counter. It was a clear tactic that Rafa was using to get Shelvey on the ball. Let's get us from A to B as quickly as possible. We'll stretch Tottenham's defence, and I thought Perez and Gale done that correctly. But Shelvey was instrumental to everything, and he nearly scored in the first half when his free kick hit the outside of the post as well. Coming off Shelvey alongside to Matt Ritchie as well. We always say every game Matt Ritchie worked hard, but I didn't see enough of him in the final third. So for that reason, I'm going to score Matt Ritchie a 6. And across the other flank, Kennedy is the same reason. This was his last game. Did have that right footed shot in the second half, which trickled wide. But I would have liked to see more of him. If Rafa maybe should have brought him in at number 10 later on. But he was subbed off fairly early. It was 65 minutes roughly, and he was taken off for Murphy. But I thought he had a poor game. 6. And then number 10, Jose Perez, you know, he seemed to be causing, him and Gale, as I say, were causing Tottenham's and stretching their defence. Would have liked to see Perez, you know, take his chances a little bit more, be a little bit more selfish. And if he's going to play as a striker in future years to come, because naturally he is a striker, he's got to be a little bit more selfish. So I thought he'd stretch him. I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he'd done well. And then the man up top, Dwight Gale, fluffed a couple of chances, and because of that, I'm going to have to score him down. I'm going to score Dwight Gale a 6. You know, yes, he is stretching the defence, as I've touched upon numerous of times, but you've got to put the ball in the back of net. Newcastle will be looking at in the summer for a new striker. I make no qualms about that. Whatever happens with Mitrovic, I still think we will sign a striker. We'll have to, because the finishing's costing us, and that's the reason why we lost this game. This is 3 points, never mind a point, this is 3 points dropped in my eyes. The substitutes, Jacob Murphy come on, had a chance straight away where he went past Sanchez, and blasted over. He was a threat, but didn't see composure enough from 6 out of 10. And then Hoslu, because didn't make much impact, I'm going to score him a 5. Didn't have massive amounts to do. And those were the only 2 subs that Rafa Benitez made. And speaking of Rafa's tactics, I've got to score him high. I thought, you know, when I came and done all the previews this week with Johnny, with We Are Tottenham TV, I was saying that I think we're going to play on the counter and hit yous. We're completely wrong. We were literally pushing up, and it was a real nice surprise, and Rafa surprised me, he probably surprised yous, and we went for it. We started to get on the attacking front. We had the most chances in the game. Going to score my 9. I just think that Dwight Gale and chances around him, and if he had a better quality of a striker, we would have won that game. I just think because of the quality that Rafa has to play with, that's what cost us. But you cannot fault Rafa Benitez, and you can't fault those lads tonight. They were mint. The fans will gang Yem happy. It's a long journey, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. They'll lock out Yem but you have to say the lads will be saying, now what, really proud of my team tonight, despite the poor finishing. Let us know what your ratings are in the comments box down there below. Next up is the review. See yous, bye.